Hello everyone, welcome to the China Harbin Forest Museum. The museum is a thematic collection and exhibition about forest. The 11,000 square meters space preserves our collection from different Chinese forest types. The themes of our museum include the forest and the earth, the forest and the organisms, the forest and human beings, as well as the forest and the future.
Hello everyone. Now you are standing in front of an art craft wall of lighted wood. It expresses the nature beauty of the typical mixed broadleaf conference forest in northeast China. On the background wall of the service desk, it is the museum's logo. It derives from a towering tree standing in the ground and deeply rooting into the soil of night view. It implies that at the base of the museum, Northeast Forestry University makes all efforts, together with the whole society, to grow the museum, develop the museum, and make society impact through the museum.
The two giraffes used to live in a clinging zoo. They were friends of many citizens. In their memory, the zoo donated them to our museum. We bring them alive, standing here to welcome all the visitors again. The giraffe is one of the tallest animals in the world, especially living in Africa. The tallest giraffe can reach 7 meters in his head, and a newborn baby can be as tall as 1.8 meters. Giraffes feed on leaves and small branches of tall trees. They can stretch out their long necks to get the food.
On the opposite side of the giraffes stands another huge mammal species, the Asiatic elephant. The Asiatic elephant is among the top species of caution because of their endangered status in the wild. Xishuangbanna National Nature Reserve in Yunnan Province is the key remaining habitat for huge mammal. The two elephants contracted a disease and died. The reserve donated them to our museum for an everlasting memory. They stand up again here, smiling to the people. Now, you are entering the first unit, Forest Evolution and Distribution. In this unit, you will learn about formation of the earth and the emergence of life. How did earth form? Do you know how the life appeared?
Yes, the Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago. It was very improbable and lucky for the Earth to have the basic conditions for the birth of life at the beginning of its formation. It includes an atmosphere containing elements of life, liquid water, and sufficient energy. It was 3.8 billion years ago that the single-celled organisms and the early algae appeared in the ocean. They were the earliest type of the life.
We have a very famous scientist. His name is Ma Jianzhang. These fossils of sturgeons are his collections and have been dated back to 130 to 140 million years ago. He donated them to our museum.
What you are feeling is a forest fire. Fire may burn trees and underground resources and take away the lives of wildlife as well. Although fire helps regulate ecosystems, it can cause loss of resources and dramatic alteration of ecosystem structure, and may harm endangered species and local human communities. So forest fire prevention is a top priority in our area. We must try our best to protect the forests from being burned by fire.
We enter the second unit, the types and distribution of the forest of China. It is the main collection area of our museum. Do you know how many forest types are there in China?
In China, forests are classified as 580 different types, belonging to 185 forest type genera, and finally to 5 forest classes. They are coniferous forests, broad-leaved forests, bamboo forests, shrub forests, and economic forests. A coniferous forest is the forest type with the largest distribution in China, accounting for about 1/3 of the world's forested area. China's coniferous forests, mainly distributed in the north, are the main timber forests of the country.
The broadleaf forest is the most widely distributed forest type in the world. The earliest broadleaf tree species used by humans in the history of China are mulberry and tea trees.
Bamboo forests are species communities thinly dominated by bamboos. There are a huge variety of bamboo species in China. The annual bamboo is the most favorite food of giant pandas, but only non-flowering bamboo can be eaten by pandas.
Shrub forests are mostly distributed in arid and semi-arid high-altitude areas. They are of great significance for improving the ecological environment, preventing water and soil, preventing wind and fixing sand.
The economic forest is the most familiar to us. They are used for producing fruits, vegetables, woolly grain, and various oils. So, we can see economic forest everywhere.
In this area, we show large temples. The largest one in the middle is an old Chinese gourd tree. Around it are large green pines, weeping figs, and dragon bamboos. The huge green pine used to grow in the Liangshui Experimental Forest Farm of Northeast Forestry University.
The forest ecosystem is one of the most complex ecosystems on Earth. It refers to a biological community with trees as the main body, but forests include plants, animals, microorganisms, and their abiotic environment, such as light, heat, water, gas, and soil. It is a dynamic system and a functional unit for substance exchange and energy flow among organisms and between organisms and their environment. In the biological community, there are not only plants as producers, providing primary productivity through photosynthesis and turning inorganics and water into organics. There are also animals as consumers and microorganisms as decomposers, forming a vigorous circling, complex food web, enabling the forest to live endlessly. In the forest ecosystem, the forest community interacts with its ecological environment, but it also changes constantly due to the internal or external factors. We call such change the succession of the forest community.
Okay, next, let's enter into Unit 3, Forest Animals. We are going to introduce forest insects and the typical wildlife in the Northeast region to you. China has a vast territory with complex nature conditions. This makes it the only country in the world that spans two major animal geographic regions with the most diverse area of insect species in the world.
The first section you are standing at shows the insect collection. Because insects distribute very wide, they occupy almost all ecosystems. We divide our insect collections into three categories according to the main distribution area: northeastern type, northern type, and the southern type. From these three modes, you may find seed insects, leaf insects, stem insects, and root insects. In the showcases are also insect specimens. Insects belong to arthropods. They have two unique characteristics. First, the body of the insect is made up of three parts, including head, chest, and abdomen. Second, there are always three pairs of legs attached to the chest.
Okay, next we will introduce you to forest pests. Forest pests are insects that harm forest and forest products. The outbreak of pests can directly or indirectly cause economic and environmental losses. Disease and pests can affect the growth and survival of trees, and the effects of wood and non-wood products, and the living environment of wild animals and plants. Therefore, forest pests and disease have become an important issue for environmental protection.
Here is the typical wildlife in the Northeast region. The most eye-catching wildlife species in this region is Siberian tiger. They can live up to 20 to 25 years old. Siberian tiger usually give birth to 2 babies each time, but the number can vary from 1 to 5.
The furthest animals are two Asiatic black bears. One is big and the other one is small. The three bears behind them are brown bears.
In front of the brown bear is the wild boar. The wild boar is regarded as the bravest animal in the forest. Deep in the forest is a wolf. Wolves are regarded as the most disciplined animals in the world. They live in packs with a strict social structure but strong team spirit.
On the left side, you see a red-crowned crane in the pond. This species is well protected worldwide. Thanks to many people who contribute their life to the conservation of these elegant birds. Miss Xu Xiujuan, a schoolmate of the university, is such a representative. She was a specialist and also the pioneer of artificial breeding of crows in China, and worked in two Korean national nature reserves during 1980s. One day, she went to rescue an injured young crane from a pond, but got trapped and lost her life. At the age of only 23, she is the first mother losing life for environmental protection in China. Her stories are being told in numerous books, songs, and films. The most famous songs written for her title, A True Story, is very popular even after 20 years. Now you are entering a stimulated forest ecosystem of the southern slope of the Qinli Mountains. Through this multimedia technology, you will view quiet ponds, flowing streams, steaming birds, and roaming wildlife in the forest. Let's move to Unit 4, Forest and Human. Here we show you the complex relationship between forest and human, the entire evolution history of human, since out splitting from ephemeral force of standing up on legs or walking out of the woods and up to prevent civilization depended on forests. We can conclude definitely that if there were no forests, there would be no humans.
So, what's the relationship between human and forest? What are the benefits which forest brings to humans? Please follow us. Know more about forest and human.
Over the whole process of civilization, humans have relied on wood. For example, wood was used in architecture and transportation extensively. Any construction in ancient times, such as bridges, gates, palaces, temples, and houses, were all built of wood from nearby forests. The invention of wooden steamships, horse-drawn carriage, bridge, and other transportation modes had greatly expanded the range of human activity.
Forests provide a wealth of utensil for human daily life, from furniture to common necessities. This is a carved wooden couch, a rank 2 national cultural relic. The couch consists of 11 pieces of finely carved wooden boards. The most ingenious idea were the corners. They are not only carving decorations, but strengthening wear of the couch. The overall shape, structure, and the color shows a distinct Chidan style. Next, you arrive at the fifth unit, Forest Knowledge. The forest is the cradle of humans, constantly providing material and spiritual wealth for human society. This exhibition shows the 8 functions of forest.
As for modern forestry, the first division is commercial and non-commercial forests. Commercial forests are forests cultivated for providing wood, bamboo, and other forest products. The science of forest cultivation is called silviculture. Non-commercial forests are unharvested forests for woodland planted, grown, protected, and managed by governments in order to maintain and improve our ecological environment, maintain ecological balance, and protect biodiversity to meet the ecological, social, and sustainable development needs of human society.
In this area, we show our collection of timber specimens. First of all, I would like to introduce 3 typical sections of wood: the cross section, the radial section, and the tangential section. The cross section is very easy to understand. It is the section perpendicular to the main axis of the trunk, showing the end plane of the trunk with growth rings. The radial section refers to the longitudinal section along the axis of the tree trunk, passing through the medulla. We may see annual growth rings in longitudinal lines and perpendicular to woolly wreaths. The tangential section is also a longitudinal section, but it does not pass through the medulla. We may see thin line-like or spindle-shaped woolly wreaths.
This is the biomass material exhibition. Biomass material are a new sort of materials produced using woody plants, grasses, and vines, or reduced or waste from their industry processing through further physical, chemical, and biological processing. Such biological materials are appended, improved performance, and high added value.
In addition to direct harvesting of raw materials from forests, humans also gain value-added products in industrial raw materials, woolly grains and oils, fruits and vegetables, and medicinal materials through the cultivation of plantation and economic forests. The fruits, vegetables, woody plants, and medicinal materials shown here are such products of economic forests.
Now we are in Unit 6, approaching the forest. The forest is the original of almost culture. It created a prehistoric culture, widely affected farming culture, and is an indispensable part of industry culture.
Next is a glacial landscape restored by our museum. The mammoth, known as the woolly mammoth, is a giant elephantid that adapts to cold climate. It was once the largest elephantid in the world, and the largest mammal that has lived on land. A steppe mammoth could weigh up to 12 tons. About 10 million years ago, mammoths gradually became extinct. This extinction event is regarded as a sign of the end of the Ice Age. For this mammoth skeleton, 90% of the bones are original. Besides the mammoths are the skeletons of northeastern bison and a woolly rhinoceros. The northeast bison was once the main hunting target of ancient humans in the northeast region, which may be one of the reasons why they become extinct. The woolly rhinoceros is so named because it is covered with a thick coat. 10,000 years ago, they become extinct.
With tall buildings rising from the ground, forests have disappeared here and there, and wildlife species have become threatened and even extinct. One after another, we are trying to protect forests and wildlife and return to the arms of the nature by establishing protected areas like forest park and wildlife nature reserves. The first national forest park in China was the Zhangjiajie National Forest Park.
Now we come to Unit 7, Forest Protection. At the turn of the century, the Chinese government launched 6 key forestry programs. The first one is the Natural Forest Protection Program. The second one is the program of turning farmland into forest and grassland. The third one is the Beijing-Tianjin Sandstorm Source Control Program. The fourth one is the 3 Northern and the Yangtze River Shelter Forest Program. The fifth one is the Wildlife Conservation and Nature Reserve Development Program. The last one is the fast-growing and high-yielding timber forest-based construction program in key areas.
These are daily supplies of a famous forestation hero called Ma Yongsun. You may wonder why Ma Yongsun used logging equipment while he is famous as an afforestation hero. He used to be a logger in 1950s and received numerous honors and awards. However, when he realized that continuous logging would exhaust the forest resources, he and his family started to plant trees in the mountains where he cut trees. This family planted a total of 50,000 trees in about 40 years and won many awards of honor from the government of China and the United Nations. He passed away in the year 2000 at the age of 87, leaving us his belongings as a cherished memory.
Forestry and ecosystems must be compatible with the economic and social development of a country. The board shows the research stations of forestry and ecosystems in China.
This is the final part of our exhibition. The prosperity of our country is not only determined by the prosperity of the power of its politics, economy, and military forces, but is also indicated by the prosperity of its forests.
On October 18, 2017, President Xi Jinping pointed out in the report at the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China that we should adhere to the harmonious coexistence of human and nature. We should maintain and practice the concept of lucid water and lush mountain are invaluable assets, and adhere to the basic national policy of saving resources and protecting our environment.
Thank you for your visit. We hope you will join us caring about and enjoying our beautiful forest ecosystems.